Hello everyone. So today we'll continue talking about ZK security. So the security of the chain is very important. We can see that today with, for example, the price of Ether going up. I think it's related a lot to the idea that Ethereum is a reliable chain. And the same goes for the adoption of the stable coins. So I think that all the ecosystems have a lot to play by presenting themselves as very secure. And one of the simplest way to do that is with formal verification, where you can really ensure that you have verified all the possible execution cases and show a proof certificate of this verification. So I think there's a lot of value today in formal verification. And when we focus on the ZKVM, there's a website, ethproof.org, which is listing all the current VMs, and it presents the security level. In particular, there are three parts: protocol soundness, implementation, and EVM STF bytecode, where to be at the green level, maximum level, it is required that the code is formally verified. Because now the community considers that this code is too complex to trust without formal verification. So there's three layers. The first one is for the VM bytecode. So typically it will be the code compiled from an EVM implementation like REVM down to some assembly language used by the VM. So the most common case, it will be in RISC-V. This part is rather challenging today to verify. Then there is the circuits part. This is the part we will be focusing on. It's how the ZKVM are implementing normal VM using polynomial equations. And the last part is the couple of prover and verifier that we are not covering. So to see exactly what is there to verify in ZKVM, we made a blog post explaining that for the verification of the circuits. So there are mainly three parts: determinism, functional correctness, and completeness. But what does it mean? For the determinism, because we are representing the VM with equations, it's possible that there are many solutions. So we always try to have at least one solution, which is the expected execution for one step in the VM. But we also need to make sure that there are no other ones. Otherwise, someone will generate an execution certificate for an invalid execution. And what does this mean? It means that someone can make an execution where he's stealing funds, for example, if he achieves to be really clever. And if this is a valid solution for the equations, this execution will be executed. So it means that this transaction will go through all the checks and the money will be stolen. So the way we express that a circuit is deterministic is that we represent the circuit as a set of equations C, which is parameterized by variables representing the various states of the registers typically. And this equation will be true if and only if we consider that it represents a correct execution step for the VM. And to see things in a clearer way, we'll distinguish between the input, output, and the oracle variables. So the input variables, they are the ones representing the current step. They are initialized by the user or the previous execution step. We can trust these variables. There are the output variables, or the variables representing the intermediate results of the computation. So these variables, they are the one where we want determinism, because this is what computes the next step of the VM. And in some cases, there are also the oracle variables. So these are special variables that are used to optimize some of the computations. For example, to compute a division, we can provide directly the result with the oracle variable and only check the multiplication of the result. So these are less frequent and more for an optimization. And for the property of determinism, we'll say that a circuit is deterministic if we can find a function f such that we can express the output with respect to the input every time a circuit is valid. So this function will typically be the VM execution step through an encoding in the equation variables. And once we have stated this property, we are sure that it will not be possible to provide an invalid certificate of execution. And there, the formal verification technique is very interesting because it's extremely hard to test the code. Because if you want to check that a circuit is deterministic by testing, you will need to try many outputs randomly, trying to find an invalid output, but the probability of finding one is actually very low, even for circuits with a bug. So the only way here is by using static analysis or formal verification. After, for the functional correctness, what we'll want to say is that this function f representing a step in a circuit is actually the right one. So the idea here is to take the VM, for example, a RISC-V VM, to formalize what does it mean in RISC-V to go from one execution step to the other. So this is done in most of the formal verification system with the SAIL project. And after, we will do a mapping between this formalization and the representation of the ZKVM, which is using variables with field elements. We represent this mapping with two function phi for the input and the output of the execution step. And after, we'll basically say that we have the functional correctness if the function f and the real function of the VM that we want to check here, we write it m, if are equal up to the mapping. So this can also be verified by testing, but to make sure that all corner cases are correctly covered, it's still much better to verify it with formal verification, especially as the circuits are not supposed to evolve once they are released. And finally, there is the completeness property, which is stating that we can always make progress. So we could very well have equations that are correct in the sense that they are deterministic and they represent exactly the VM, but we could have some cases also where they have no solution. So not having any solution is still being deterministic, because you cannot make a fake next step, but you cannot also make a right one. So we need to verify what we call the completeness property for that. It states that for any input, we'll be able to find an output value, and with the help of an oracle when there is one, such that we can validate the execution of the circuit. For that also, testing can cover a lot of cases, but to cover everything, formal verification will be the best way. And it could be an attack to force to put a VM into a state where it's impossible to make a next step, as you will block the execution of a VM. And yes, yeah, that's it for the presentation. These are the three main properties that we want to verify and formally verify on a circuit. And the main one is the determinism. It's also the most complex one to check. Yeah, thanks.